Good morning, it's Wednesday. We're a few days into the trip and we've had some glorious sailing, we've had some not so glorious sailing. And at the moment you may be able to hear the motor running. We're running the motor because we're heading north where we know the wind's going to build in another day or so. But we'll come back to that in another feature. Yesterday was a lot of work to repair a portion of the boat, and that's called a reefing line. Something we have to be careful of. All of the lines, or ropes as you may know them, is that they don't rub, because when they rub on something, gradually the fabric gets torn away. The line is composed of two parts: a central core, which is the strength, and then a cover, which is protective. Here's the cover. We've taken the cover off the core, but you can see it was worn away, and this was then going to remove the protection for the core that does all the work. We worked for several hours, but let me take you up and show you where we put in the repair and why the problem occurred. So here we are at the mast of Ingwe, and we have the motor on. There's not enough wind to sail, so the sail, which you can see is in the sail bag. So I can't show the feature fully deployed. Normally, of course, the sail goes up the mast, and in high winds, we want to pull the sail partially down the mast so there's less surface area to be exposed to the wind. To do that, we use reefing lines, and we have two reefing lines here, a red one and a yellow one. The red one pulls the sail part way down, the yellow one pulls it down even further. So high wind, very high wind, we can reduce and further reduce sail area. Here the red line, the first reefing line, you see it actually attaches to the sail, and what would happen when we're reefing, this would pull the sail down to the boom, and then all of the sail underneath will be packed away and not exposed to the wind. Okay, so this is the repaired reefing line, the red one. Why did the old one chafe and that green cover get damaged? Well, the culprit, as we pull the sail down up near the mast at what's called the luff, that reefing line then goes through the boom to the stern, to the leech, and pulls the leech of the sail down too. But the way we had it rigged, where this reefing line came out of the boom, it was coming slightly too far forward, and as you can see, it would rub against this piece of metal. And over the course of many days, that rubbing action gradually wore away the cover. So we've re-rigged it in a manner that when we reef the line, that rubbing will not occur. So we're not concerned, but as we're sailing, we will be checking. And what we do is every night and every morning we have we call it the chafe check, and it's to see, are there lines that are chafing? Fortunately, yesterday we did catch it with the chafe, and we caught it before there was damage to the core, which is the portion of the line that takes all the load. So that was good, and we've replaced it with a fully functional system, and we've now made a backup one in case we have the problem again. Look at this pretty line. You may have seen from the boom up at the mast, the red line is our new reefing line. Well, that green that we sewed to it is part of the old reefing line, and the reason we sewed them together was the old reefing line was still passing through all of the pathways in the mast and the boom. So we simply sewed the old and the new together, and then pulled on the green, to pull the new reefing line through all the way. Now you may ask, why don't we just cut the red reefing line here? Posterity.